What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. This mouse is micro and soft. So I wasn't kidding when I said this is micro and soft, not just because this is by Microsoft, but it's the Arc mouse. And what I got is my Microsoft Surface Pro here, and this one is supposed to be fairly compatible with it, and so I'm looking forward to trying that out. Now, one of the problems, and one of the reasons that I wasn't going to get this is I just figured, my existing Apple Magic Bluetooth mouse would work fine with this, but it does work, but the scrolling, the touch sensitivity doesn't work. And so I thought, well, if there's going to be a mouse that works with this, it's going to be this one. So unboxing it here, I'll save the mouse there for just a second. You can see a little plastic case here. Looks like we have an instruction booklet, little guide. Doesn't look like there's much of anything else. And so I guess that's all it takes. Now I'm assuming that the battery power here, okay, so let's take this out, and then you should be able to open this up, and it looks like just a couple of AAA batteries. And this is actually the front of it. You might be able to see the little light right there, and then it looks like we have a Bluetooth button here, little plastic slider there, and then one on the back here. And it's micro, it's very flat, but obviously it doesn't match this. So what you do is you bend this and then turn it into more of an ergo mouse. But that's what makes this really small and travelable, is it kind of folds pretty flat. It does have like a velvety texture to it, so it's got a really smooth feel to this side. And then up here, I think that's plastic, but then I think we have clicking, left and right click, and then I think you have trackpad like features up and down and left and right, and that's like a scroll wheel. So the way you turn it on is you actually bend it just like that, and now we have a little bit of an ergo mouse, and you can see the light comes on, and now I should be able to kind of move it around. I was kind of wondering how well would it keep this shape when you're putting your hand on it. I'll say it keeps pretty well. It's not collapsing under my hand or anything, but then if I bring it back like that, it turns off. Now, I will say it's kind of meta-stable. So once you get it into the final position, it kind of snaps in that position, and it wants to stay there. But once you get over the hump of the release, it kind of wants to go back flat. And so it kind of stays in both those positions. So that's pretty cool. Now, I will get this paired up with my Surface here and see if it works. Now, Windows actually found the mouse on its own. I actually was going into the Bluetooth settings there to get it to connect, but it doesn't look like I have to do that at all. It looks like found it without a problem. And what you might be able to see here is it seems to be working just fine, and the mouse sensitivity settings seem to be working just fine. And if I scroll here, you can see, look at that. That seems to be working just fine too. Now, if we go here and I scroll down, gotta accept cookies. Clicking is nice. It's a little shallow. It's a little bit funny. I think because this isn't a really long mouse, I'd kind of rather have my heel up here, but then my fingers are a little bit too far forward. So what I kind of find is that it rides under the finger. So it's not the most ergonomic mouse. I wouldn't actually mind it being just a slightly longer, but it works just fine. And so if I scroll down here, all right, and then if I click into one of these, so it doesn't want to let me swipe back. So left and right is not activated out of the gate, but up and down certainly seems to be. Just pretty cool. I'm liking that. So hey, I will continue to use this, but otherwise it seems like a great little device, and then just turning it off, disconnecting it, and taking it with me should be a breeze. Hey, if you want to pick up this Arc mouse, you certainly can. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.